This message is for anyone who's been overworking themselves to the point of burnout thanks to that intrusive voice embedded in the subconscious that is constantly calling you lazy. A voice that was likely created by your parents calling you lazy all throughout your childhood. You're not lazy. You're living under a fascist regime, and the cost of survival is too astronomical for a majority of us to fucking afford. So this is just a reminder to give yourself some grace.
Hello everyone, it's Emmanuel Cooke. Today we will be reacting to a new video, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video.
Am I the only one that doesn't like hustle culture? Why do I need an LLC? Why do I need multiple streams of income? Why am I lazy if I don't want to be an entrepreneur? Why can't I just be normal? You got to lose sleep. You're going to lose family members. You got to work 90 million hours a week. Why do I have to do that? I like what I have. I'm cool with what I got. I'm trying to figure out what in history happened where enough no longer became enough. And who decided that luxury or lavish living was the best way to live? And I'm guilty of it too, because I have well over 100 pair of sneakers. And that is not including my basketball sneakers or my soccer cleats, indoor and turf. All these pairs of shoes, and I only got 2 feet. What happened to make the majority of people go against our nature? Like, everything we do is against our nature. And I feel like that's the root of depression. It's in our nature to want to survive. And these are the conditions we're given now where we got to do all this extra shit in order to survive. But the conditions we are trying to survive in is unnatural. But it's a bunch of bullshit, right? Can we agree that all of this is a bunch of BS? My bad. This was just a stream of thought that stemmed from a video I saw in the comment section. Was like, y'all don't got what it takes to be an entrepreneur because y'all lazy. And I'm thinking, like, is it that they're lazy? Or that they also see that it's bullshit that we got to do all this extra stuff in order to, I guess, match the new normal that somebody created? Did we create this new normal? I don't know. What y'all think? Am I off? Like, tell me something, please. I'm trying to figure this out.
I just want to say hustle culture is going to be the downfall of this generation, because there is no reason why I should have to work 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 different jobs to provide one roof over my head, but then I don't even get to enjoy the roof or the fruits of my labor because I have to work all these jobs just to keep up with it. Something's got to give.
You shouldn't have to sell the plasma out of your body to get by. You shouldn't have to monetize your hobbies, the things you should be doing for fun, just to have a quick second stream of income. You shouldn't have to take 1,000 surveys a day or join 30 focus groups or play that little bingo, bubble pop, whatever game with the hopes of making an extra $20 so you can eat something decent for dinner. And you shouldn't have hot girl side hustles bookmarked anywhere on your technology. Now, I'm not shaming you if this is your reality, because I get it, because I've been there. These are things that I have done, thought about doing, or continue to think about doing to have some extra money. But what I am saying is that you're not special. That I'm saying that a lot of people have this lived reality, and we shouldn't. You shouldn't have to work multiple jobs, have multiple streams of passive income, and pick up an extra side hustle on the weekend, maybe a little bit of Instacart, so you can have a nice place to live and food on the table for your family, even if your family is just you. And I know we've normalized it, like hustle culture, stay on the grind, get your money up, not your funny up. Like, I know we're used to it, but we shouldn't be. We were not put on this earth to work forever. What I'm saying is, if you're looking for a second or third job, or if you're getting an ad to sell your plasma or any other bodily fluid, or if you find yourself thinking about what chat service you can join that will send you more than 10 cents a text for every lonely person you message, you should be angry. You should be boiling angry. And you should carry that with you into all the decisions you make.
Young Americans are finally ditching girl boss culture and the toxic hustle culture of past generations. And instead of working themselves to the bone for minimal reward, they're actually prioritizing work-life balance. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation, which is making it hard for them to hit milestones like home ownership. Resume Lab did a study and found that 83% of Gen Z would consider themselves job hoppers. And that regardless of the company culture or how long they've been there or how much they like the company, they are more worried about getting paid more. So they'll leave and go get a better paying job. And that in another study, over 40% of Gen Z are actually doing a full-time 9-to-5, but doing a side hustle as well. A lot of them apparently are turning to investments like cryptocurrency and real estate in order to secure their financial future. They know that solely relying on your employer is not the vibe anymore.
I am so tired of the hustle harder narrative. I simply do not fuck with hustle culture. I'm gonna tell you why. As a business owner, I literally once thought that you had to run yourself into the ground, sacrifice your health and your mental health just to be successful. It didn't take me very long before I just hit a wall of exhaustion and literally a nosedive in my mental health. So learn from my mistake. I had to learn the hard way. You do not have to sacrifice your mental health for success by any means. So here's my approach now and how I pretty much just practice what I preach. First thing is, I'm sure you've heard it before, prioritize your self-care. Taking time for yourself literally is a non-negotiable. Schedule your 8 a.m. workout in the morning, schedule your midday nap time, I don't care, schedule when you walk the dog, whatever self-care is to you, make it happen, schedule it. Second, I know this is a hard one for most people, and we're probably all working on it in therapy, I get it, but set boundaries and learn to feel more confident saying no and be firm with your boundaries. That literally can be as simple as just silencing your Slack notifications from 6 p.m. until like 9 a.m. the next morning. You're allowed to do that. Do it. Third is ask for help where you need to, because it actually makes you magnetic and like confident and attractive when you can ask for help because you know what you need and you're asking for it. So do that instead of just silently suffering, being a people pleaser and taking on projects that you can't. Be aware of yourself, be mindful, be present of just where your stress levels are, how much you're taking on, where you might need to pivot. Essentially just prioritize your mental health. And that is what's going to help you feel better. You're going to make better decisions at work. You're going to keep your stress levels low, and that's kind of the end goal here. It is way too easy to get caught up comparing ourselves to what everyone else is doing and everyone else's success. That's all you see on social media, because we forget that no one wants to show us the struggle and the hard shit, the bad and the ugly shit on social media. Hustle culture is toxic. You take one thing away from this, it's that your well-being, your mental health is literally your most valuable asset, period. End of fucking discussion. It's not about how hard you hustle, it's literally just about how smart you work. And that's why I don't fuck with hustle culture. So feel free to disagree and just let me know in the comments.
Then you just don't want it enough. It's as simple as that.
I used to be like this guy. I'm not anymore because it totally was not worth it. Let me tell you why. First of all, the obvious, my mental health deteriorated. What's funny is my mental health was deteriorating because I was pushing myself beyond, pushing myself to my limit to make money. And then I had to use that money to hire therapists and get medication and get all this stuff so my mental health will be okay enough to push again to make more money. It was just this like really dumb cycle. There are certain things money cannot buy. Yeah, money can buy you the therapy and stuff, but what's priceless is to simply have your peace of mind and sanity. Like, that is priceless. Okay, then my actual health was affected. I got diagnosed with an autoimmune issue. Those are the kind of disorders and diseases that literally you could have gone your whole entire life without it, but stress triggers, like sends a message to your genes and triggers the disease, and now all of a sudden you have a diagnosis. And yeah, the money was great to help me afford the doctors and diagnostics and medications and treatments. But what is even better that money can't buy is like simply not having the autoimmune issue like at all. I have a close family member who was diagnosed with, the big C, and we believe it was stress induced. I mean, it obviously doesn't help. So anyway, it affects your mental health, it affects your real health, and it affects your relationships. And yeah, it was nice to have the money to like go out all the time or do things or go to events that were important to people, or like have the money to be able to travel to see friends. But if you didn't have money to do that stuff at all, and you were just, all you had was yourself, and you had the peace of mind and sanity to just be yourself, that is worth way more in your friendships, relationships with family. That is worth way more to the people in your life than having the money to do stuff. So that's another thing that money cannot buy. Saying is, there are things that money cannot buy that it's not worth it to push yourself to your max, to your limit. Making more money should not be a Herculean effort. It should not be a Herculean effort, okay? This guy wants you to think it's supposed to, and he wants you to feel like crap, and he wants you to feel guilty. He wants you to feel like you're not doing enough because he's selling an e-course. He wants you to buy his e-course. I mean, this is just, look, years ago, I fell for this shtick. And I'm telling you, don't do it, okay? Don't make the mistake I made. It is normal to be exhausted after your full-time job. This person that he's replying to was a teacher. Your job is more than full-time. Not only do you have tasks, but you also have so much emotional labor that you're putting forth. Like, don't get me started. Mad respect to the teacher. My point is that you should find balance. If you want to advance yourself financially, there should be a balance. It should not feel like an agonizing task, okay? Like, yeah, you're gonna work hard, or you're gonna trial and error, you're gonna meet failure, like, you're gonna go through stuff, but it should not be, look, protect your peace, okay? You have priorities in life. That is normal. That is good. Figure out how to manage your stress. Try different things that work for you, work for your lifestyle and your mentality. And just, my point is, okay, this you don't want it bad enough narrative doesn't work. Not realistic. And you can, I promise you, there are ways to increase your financial situation without this weird icky feeling. It does take a lot of trial and error, but you got it.
You don't want nothing fast. I'm telling you now. You do not want anything fast, whether it's making.
So this is a very good point, and I wanted to put it more so in the context of academia. So I was one of those people that, like, all through high school, I was in IB. When I got to college, I was obsessed with graduating early. I graduated at 20 years old. I didn't want to take a break between undergrad and grad school, so I went straight into my master's program, finished that in a year and a half, and boom, went straight into a PhD program. Now, why did I feel like I had to do all this stuff so fast? Well, it was because at the time I felt like, well, the faster I do it, that means that I'm smart, and that would somehow make me more successful than if I had done these things at a slower pace. All of that is now biting me in the ass. From a social interaction standpoint, I often think about how much I missed out on by leaving college early. It would not have harmed me at all to stay there for another year or two. I could have been more involved on campus after I transferred to Spelman. I would have had more time with my line sister, and I just would have been overall less stressed. Being in grad school, I have started to experience symptoms of burnout. Also, being in academia, nothing is fast, right? Also in academia, like, literally nothing is fast. It takes time to write grants. It takes time to write publications. It takes time to get these publications accepted. And being so focused on getting an outcome quickly, especially in this space, is only going to be detrimental to your mental health. You're going to constantly feel like you're behind or like you're not doing enough, when in reality, shit just takes time. And that's okay. And that's what I'm trying to work on now, is just being more comfortable with the process and where I am in the process, and less focused on getting the outcome as expeditiously as possible. And I know in capitalism, this is really, really hard, because our worth, whether you're in academia or in a different sector, is largely based on our ability to be productive. But we do really have to be conscious of this and work on just slowing everything down.
Hi, my name is Marissa, and I'm a recovering advocate of hustle culture. I used to be that person proud of working 2 to 3 days straight with little to no sleep. Like, it was like a badge of honor to me. I was like, you work hard, you sleep less, you grind daily, like, let's get it. And underneath this hustle culture toxicity of a badge, I literally was in my mid-20s struggling. I was struggling mentally. My mental health was detrimental. I was literally exhausted. I was stressed. I had anxiety. Yes, I was making a lot of money, but what was life? I was not living it. That's why I say the hustle is irrelevant if you work yourself to death, because literally I almost did. But I realized I didn't have to sacrifice myself for success. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for success. You matter. Put yourself first. And these are 5 things I forced myself to do so that I could break out of that hustle culture mentality. I set boundaries. Clear as day. I timed block. I did whatever I had to do. I even penciled in, and this is my second one, prioritizing self-care. I penciled in, like, what weekend am I going to the spa? Like, when am I going to take my baths? Like, when am I just going to sit and do nothing? I prioritize me, my mental health, and that really helped with my anxiety. A few other things that I did. I changed the way I did business. Number one, I guess technically number 3, but number 1 in changing how I did business, I delegated and outsourced. I relinquished this idea of I had to be in power. No, it don't got to be me that do it. You don't got to do it, sis. Get somebody else to do it. And then also I focus on efficiency. Like, I built passive income streams. I was like, like this funnel thing, let's figure this out. Let's make this work because I can build it once and it can continuously make me money. So delegate and outsource and focus on creating efficiencies within your business. Last but not least, cultivate a support network. Or honestly, if you're like me, just let your people in. I will never forget. I was so embarrassed. My boyfriend at the time had reached out to my friends because something happened and he was worried about me. And I was just like, why would he tell them? But then I realized they're my support system. Like, why am I hiding the struggle that I'm having with anxiety, with mental health, with exhaustion, with my business? Like, why am I hiding it? Let them in, go to events that prioritize well-being, that talk about work-life balance, that talk about self-care, and connect with entrepreneurs that think like you. And that is how you will overcome this toxicity of hustle culture, this badge of honor that we as entrepreneurs wear. Let it go, sis.
Look, I don't know if it's just me, but anybody else looking at the state of the world right now, looking at all of these industries that's getting exposed, music industry, acting industry, just every industry, and just lack the motivation to just want to do anything. Like, I'm kind of getting to a point where I don't want to strive to be a part of nothing no more. Like when I was younger, it was like, oh, you would look on TV, you would see these actors, you would see these musicians, or you would see whatever. And you used to think, you know what? You looked around and there was motivation. You saw people able to afford houses. You saw people able to afford groceries. And you were like, you know what? Yeah, let me get on my grind. But what am I getting on my grind now? For like, what's out there? I'm looking around. There's no reason to get on a grind. There is nothing that's making me want to put energy into something. I just want to completely exit out. I just completely want to sign off the game. Like, this can't be real life. Like, there's nothing around to motivate me to do what? To do what? I don't know. Ain't no motivation out here.
To all my high-stress entrepreneurs, you've got to slow down or you're gonna die. This year I lost the most successful man I've ever known in my life to unaliving because while he could run a business like a motherfucker, he couldn't get a handle on his mental health. Every entrepreneur has dealt with debilitating anxiety, feeling like you're gonna lose everything. We throw down 100% of the time even though there's a 95% chance we're gonna fail, and this is mentally exhausting. We don't eat, we don't sleep, exercise. That makes us vulnerable to mood swings, uncontrolled emotions, depression, despair, even feeling worthless, and thoughts of unaliving. Being manic and working ourselves to death is not glamorous. Struggling silently is not a goal, and talking about it doesn't make you weak.
This is going to sound so dramatic, but we are fighting hustle culture for our humanity. We are so busy that responsibilities have become the main thing, and we are just forcing the human experience into the cracks. I have to set reminders to go outside, to call my family, to get any type of movement. I love going to the grocery store and cooking. I think wandering around Trader Joe's is a euphoric experience, but I cut those things out, very human things, because I feel like I don't have enough time. So instead I order food that's mostly pre-made and then just eat that instead. I have a friend who used to have an exercise bike in her living room and she would have to motivate herself to use it after work. Instead, she moved somewhere where it's like a biking city and she just bikes everywhere. She says she's in the best shape of her life, not because she's going out of her way to exercise, but because movement's just part of life. Things like art and recess are getting pulled out of school systems left and right. People are starting gardens everywhere because they want access to food. We resist taking vacation days. We're lonelier than ever. How have we strayed so far from the human experience?
Hustle culture is crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I get it. You're trying to get to your goals as quick as possible. And you need money to be able to do that. But you also need to take care of your health. Listen, if there's a period of time, like a season, you gotta go through grinding and maybe mess up your health for a little bit, okay, cool. But if you're doing it for too long of a time, no, that's when you need to switch it and prioritize your health. Because health is wealth. And say you end up getting sick or you end up getting something and it's preventing you from making money, now you about to have a period of time where you're not making anything. So take care of yourself.
Well, I'm not chasing the bag, bro. I'm finessing the bag, bro. Grinding in 2024 is dead. And no, I'm not lazy, bro. But it's no point of chasing this bag. And you put in all this time, effort, blood, and tears just for all the money that you saved up to be worth half of what it was in 2 years and 3 years. Like the game is rigged, bro. Y'all need to stop playing fair. Our parents and grandparents, yeah, they could work hard and grind and actually, you feel me, make it somewhere with that. With us, we're just being dumb if we're doing that. That's a bad mindset. You working 60 hours a week. Unless it's for your business. If it's for your business, man, ball out. But the only difference is with your business is when you want to take a break, you don't got to check in with nobody. You don't got to tell somebody, man, I need to take off this day and that day. But yeah, man, I'm not chasing no bags, bro. And I'm not telling you not to chase a bag, but bro, fuck that. I'm done chasing the bag for now. I'm out here living my life, enjoying my life. That's it.
I don't think we've had enough conversations about how much hustle culture is like actually killing all of us. Because I'm burnt the fuck out. And I don't know how much longer I can do this, and it's not funny. Like, I'm gonna cry if I don't laugh right now. I have a whole full-time job. Like, I have 2 degrees. I have a full-time job. I'm a supervisor in a lab, and I have to pick up a second job to be able to pay for daycare so that my daughter can go to the first job so that I can afford food and rent and gas and all this shit. All the while, I'm also a full-time student to get my 3rd college degree because I don't like my full-time job anymore and I'm not fulfilled. And like, I live in this very weird world of like, I deserve to have this life that I like and I should get to travel and get to take my daughter to do things and stuff. And also like, I'm literally breaking my body and my mind and my spirit by having to work all of this and do all this stuff. And for what? Right now, I'm just in one of those times that I go through about once every 3 to 6 months where I'm just like, what's really going on here? We can never win against capitalism. I have to work 60 hours a week and make $80,000 a year to make ends meet. That's insane. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it. And then I start spiraling. For those of you that are new here, hi, I'm Kat. I'm an addict. I've been in recovery for about 7 years from IV, meth, and heroin. And pulling myself out of all that and having a job and like doing the stuff that's supposed to help you and like a productive member of society is a lot of how I'm proud of myself in recovery. So when I get in these moods, it's just like, what the fuck is all of this for? Why did I go through hell to just go through hell again? Sober. And I like being sober. I like being clean. This is not what this is about, but it's the principle of like, all of this shit is for what?
This may be controversial and I know people are not going to like. When I say that the anti-hustle culture is hella toxic because it's basically an excuse to be lazy. I don't know what happened, but somewhere in the gist of it, you fell into the trap of believing that hustle is bad. And really what hustle is, it means work. Like putting in the work to getting what you want. So think about how you go to the gym. Like you hustle in the gym if you have a certain goal or if you want to stay healthy. It's like if you just get in the gym to lollygag, that's not really going to get you results or maintain the results that you have now. Now I know I've heard it before, like, okay, well, you are going to burn out. You're going to do this and that. And I've burnt out before. And the reason why I've burnt out is because of people pleasing and no boundaries. It had nothing to do with my work. It had everything to do with me saying yes to things that I didn't want to do, saying yes to people that I didn't want to associate myself with, and not having boundaries. Like, okay, look, you can't say yes to everything. Or prioritizing my health. Like, okay, if you're going to work, like you need to go out for a walk. You need to get to the gym. You need to eat better. And these boundaries, once I placed them, I got my joy back. But again, it had nothing to do with the work. And I feel like I see this like soft girl era and all of this stuff. Like I understand maybe you're tired of hustling and all, but you probably need to set systems in. Like why would you not want to make more money? Why would you not want more freedom? And with more freedom comes more discipline. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I've been talking to a few girls too and they're like, yeah. This anti-hustle culture totally makes me feel like I'm hustling all the time. And I'm not, dude. I'm literally doing laundry right now. Chilling for a little bit before I go to the gym. But I worked my butt off yesterday trying to finish my sales page and all. And it was perfect. Now I get to chill a little bit, do the laundry. So anyways, the whole entire point of this is anti-hustle culture. I think it's just making us lazy. TBH.
That is it for today. I appreciate you guys watching the video and like, comment, and subscribe. down below, and see you in the next video.